practice as these cars prepare for the big race Saturday night. NBC's been preparing to come back on air here in July, and we have a new program that were discussed and we launched yesterday on NASCAR America. Is the NBC All-Star Pit Crew. The whole concept is to go in the garage area and find the men and women that make this sport great. And there are so many team members with great stories of perseverance, overcoming something, their performance on the racetrack that makes them so valuable. Hundreds and hundreds of pit crew members. We're at really 600, 700 here on the weekend. We're going to pick 2, 3, 4 each week. We're going to nominate them to the All-Star Crew. We're going to tell their stories, whether it's a great charity they're a part of, whether it's just 30 or 40 years in motorsports and persevered to reach the highest level, or perhaps something in their life that they've overcome to stay in the sport. We're going to highlight them all year long. It's going to be great. When we get to Miami, we're going to pick 9 or 10, make those our finalists, and formulate the first ever NBC All-Star Pit Crew.
I love it. Telling the stories of really the guys behind the superstars in this sport, and they're all very influential as to the successes of these teams. Let's go back into the garage. And Marty.
Hey, Rick, look who I found. That's right, Eric Almirola's here in the garage area, and you look great, man. How you feel?
I feel good. I feel really good. So I've been back working out and trying to get back in shape, and sitting on the couch for 2 weeks. Man, it's hard to stay in shape like that. But doctors scanned my back yesterday with a CT scan, and everything looks good. They've seen a lot of regrowth of new bone. The vertebrae where it was fractured in the middle, they've seen some bridging where the bones have started to basically tack weld themselves together. So everything looks good, and we're trying to schedule a test now in a couple weeks to go test, and if the test goes well and I don't have any pain in my back, I should be able to get back in a race car and go race.
So where are we looking at testing, and what's the plan on that day?
I think it's between Charlotte and Darlington, just trying to figure out somewhere close to home. We don't want to fly somewhere and go test and me go run one lap and find out my back hurts. So somewhere close to home, and just make sure it's fast enough and got enough banking to load, load me down in the seat and get that load up through the spine, because that's really what we're worried about. So if all that goes well, I hope to be back around Loudon, Indy sometime in there, which those would be great racetracks to come back at for that, reduced loading, reduced banking, be a little less pressure on my back. So I'm hopeful. Doctors feel confident. I feel confident. I feel really good. I'm dying sitting on the couch watching the races. That's why last week at Sonoma I went out there and somewhat made a mini vacation and did some sponsor appearances for our sponsors. And now I'm just like, I'm ready to go. Like, tell me when the plane's leaving so I can be there.
And you see Bubba Wallace on the right side of the screen there running around in the Smithfield car. He told me the best part personally, he got to pick up the kids last week, Rick, finally, because they've been bugging him. They've been saying, Daddy, pick me up, pick me up. Couldn't do that until this past week. That's been a very cool thing for him as well.
Absolutely. And I think, once again, as we're riding along with Bubba as he brings the 43 back in, this is a reminder of how dangerous this sport is. We've talked about the safeties and the safety initiatives and everything that they've done to the cars, the walls, the tracks, everything that has been done. But things like that, right there, when you saw Eric Almirola come slamming in, it is still cars moving at ridiculous speeds, and the danger is definitely still there. And that's why Eric Almirola is not in the car right now. And we saw this scene, which was very scary to see any driver that has to be taken out of a car after taking the roof off, a scary sight. But thankfully, once again, that we see Eric Almirola, and he's checking out his own back there as he's watching the broadcast. But yeah, we're very excited to see Eric back at the track and can't wait for him to get back behind the wheel.
What's fascinating to me is the desire to get back in a race car, right? And I think that's what people don't understand about race car drivers is you just put it away. You know what I mean? You know you got hurt, and you know the pain was there, and you know you've been out of the car, but you just want to get back in it. You want to go back into battle. You want to go back and do the thing you love to do. And that's, it shows you the passion. You're willing to put, you know it's dangerous, but you're willing to put it aside because you have a passion and you absolutely love the competition and driving a race car.
Bubba Wallace bringing the 43 back into the garage, the attention of the 43 crew. As I mentioned before, it's such a unique sport in the sense that drivers are accessible. Fans, right there in the garage, right there able to watch what's taking place and maybe get a quick picture with the stars of the sport, maybe get an autograph with Dale Earnhardt Jr.